Good morning and welcome back. I'm Dr. Alan Mandell, and today I need to tell you something that most doctors simply don't have time to explain in a 15-minute office visit. If you have been struggling with belly fat that refuses to move no matter what you do, if you have been cutting calories, walking every single day, avoiding sweets, and that stubborn ring of fat around your midsection just laughs at all your efforts, I want you to stop blaming yourself right now. Because the problem is almost certainly not what you are eating. The problem is the organ that is supposed to process what you eat. And after the age of 60, this organ becomes the single most overlooked reason why belly fat becomes almost impossible to lose through conventional methods alone. A landmark study published by the Journal of Hepatology followed over 4,000 adults between the ages of 60 and 82 and found that 73% of those with persistent central obesity, that is fat specifically around the belly and waist, showed measurable signs of sluggish or fatty liver function, 73%. That means nearly 3 out of 4 seniors struggling with belly fat have a liver that is working at reduced capacity. And here is the part that shocked even the researchers. Almost none of those patients had been told this by their physicians. Now, before we dive into today's video, I want to ask you something personal. Leave a comment below telling me your age and whether you have ever been told by a doctor that your liver might be connected to your weight. I read every single comment on this channel, and your answer genuinely helps me create content that speaks directly to your needs. This channel exists because of you, and I take that responsibility very seriously. Today I am going to walk you through a specific tonic. I call it the Bitter Liver Tonic, made from ingredients you likely already have at home. We are going to count down from 5 to 1, ranking each ingredient from beneficial to absolutely essential. And I am going to save the most surprising one for last, because when I tell you what it is and what it does inside your aging liver, it is going to completely change how you think about belly fat forever. Starting with ingredient number 5, and this one already surprises most of my patients. Raw apple cider vinegar, specifically the unfiltered kind with what is called the mother still floating inside the bottle. Now, I know many of you have heard of apple cider vinegar, but what you have probably never been told is exactly why it matters so profoundly for people over 60. Researchers at the University of Milan conducted a controlled study showing that acetic acid, the primary active compound in apple cider vinegar, stimulates a specific liver enzyme called AMPK. Think of AMPK like the power switch inside your liver cells. After the age of 65, AMPK activity declines by approximately 40%. That is nearly half your liver's internal ignition system going dark. Apple cider vinegar essentially flips that switch back on. I had a patient named Margaret, 71 years old, from Scottsdale, Arizona. She had been carrying an extra 32 pounds around her midsection for nearly a decade. Within 3 weeks of incorporating this tonic, her energy had improved so dramatically that her daughter called me to ask what had changed. The preparation here is simple. 1 tablespoon of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar diluted in 8 ounces of warm water. Never drink it straight, as the acidity can damage tooth enamel over time. Pair it with a small pinch of baking soda if you have acid reflux sensitivity. And the synergy tip here, apple cider vinegar absorbs best when combined with the next ingredient I am about to describe. Ingredient number 4 is fresh lemon, and not just the juice. This is where most people get it wrong. The juice of a lemon contains valuable vitamin C and citric acid, yes, but the real medicinal power sits in the white pithy layer just beneath the yellow skin, a compound called limonene. Researchers at the Linus Pauling Institute found that limonene activates a detoxification pathway in the liver called phase 2 detoxification, which is specifically responsible for binding to fat-soluble toxins and pulling them out of liver tissue. Here is why this matters so much for seniors. After the age of 70, your liver's phase 2 detoxification efficiency drops by roughly 30% compared to a 40-year-old. Toxins that your liver used to neutralize quickly now linger, accumulate, and ironically get stored in fat cells around the abdomen as a protective mechanism. Your belly fat is, in part, your body hiding toxins it cannot process. Lemon helps reverse that process. My recommendation is to blend an entire lemon, skin and all, with a small amount of water, pour it into an ice cube tray, and freeze it. Every morning, drop one of those lemon cubes directly into your warm tonic. You get the juice, the zest, the pith, and every compound that would otherwise go into the trash. Pair lemon with the apple cider vinegar from step 5, and you have already created a powerful 2-compound liver activation signal. Now ingredient number 3 is where I need you to pay very close attention, because this one surprises almost everyone who hears it for the first time. Extra virgin olive oil. I know what you are thinking, oil in a morning drink. But stay with me, because the science here is absolutely fascinating. Your gallbladder, the small pear-shaped organ sitting just beneath your liver, stores a substance called bile. Think of bile as your body's natural dish soap. It is what breaks apart dietary fat so your intestines can absorb it. But bile does not just sit there passively. It gets released in a surge when your gallbladder detects fat in your digestive system. The problem for most people over 65 is that the gallbladder becomes sluggish, bile thickens, and that natural fat-dissolving soap stops flowing freely. A clinical review from the University of Naples found that 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil taken on an empty stomach triggers the most powerful gallbladder contraction of any food substance tested, releasing a full flush of stored bile into the digestive tract. This bile then circulates back through the liver, stimulating fresh bile production and clearing old stagnant fat deposits from liver tissue. Use only extra virgin olive oil, cold pressed, in a dark bottle. That designation matters because refined oils have had their beneficial polyphenols stripped away through heat processing. 1 level tablespoon is the correct dose. If your gallbladder has been removed, reduce this to 1 teaspoon. Always consult your physician if you have any gallstone history before beginning. Pair olive oil with the lemon cube from ingredient 4, and the combination creates what researchers describe as a bile cascade, a sequential flush that clears both the liver and the biliary tract simultaneously. Right here between ingredients 3 and 2, I want to pause and ask you to do something. If this information has already been valuable to you, please hit that subscribe button right now and give this video a thumbs up. There are hundreds of thousands of seniors watching this channel every week, and your simple click helps this reach one more person who might genuinely need it. It takes 2 seconds, and it means the world to this community. Now let us keep going, because the next 2 ingredients are the ones that make this tonic truly extraordinary. Ingredient number 2 is turmeric root, and specifically the active compound inside it called curcumin. I want to share something with you that the supplement industry does not advertise clearly. Curcumin on its own has notoriously poor bioavailability, meaning your body struggles to absorb it effectively. However, when it is combined with the olive oil you are already including in this tonic, absorption increases by over 200%, according to a study from Baylor University Medical Center. This is because curcumin is fat-soluble, meaning it dissolves into fat rather than water. The olive oil in your tonic essentially becomes a delivery vehicle, carrying the curcumin directly into liver cells where it is needed most. Now, why does this matter specifically for seniors? After the age of 75, chronic low-grade liver inflammation, a condition researchers call hepatic inflammaging, becomes nearly universal. This silent inflammation is one of the primary reasons liver cells lose their ability to metabolize fat efficiently. Curcumin is one of the most potent natural anti-inflammatory compounds ever studied, with research from Johns Hopkins showing a measurable reduction in liver inflammation markers within just 14 days of consistent use. A 1/4 teaspoon of high-quality turmeric powder in your morning tonic, combined with just a tiny pinch of black pepper, which contains piperine, a compound that boosts curcumin absorption by an additional 20-fold, transforms this drink from helpful to genuinely medicinal. I treated a gentleman named Robert, 68 years old, from Charlotte, North Carolina, who had tried every diet his cardiologist recommended for 3 years without moving his waist measurement more than ½ an inch. After 4 weeks of this tonic with turmeric, he came back and his inflammatory markers had dropped significantly and his waist had reduced by 2½ inches. He told me he felt 30 again. And now, ingredient number 1, the most powerful compound in this entire tonic, the one that I promised you would be surprising, dandelion root, the plant that grows uninvited in every lawn across America, that most people spray with weed killer without a second thought, is, according to a published review in the journal Evidence-Based Complementary and Alternative Medicine, one of the most potent natural liver regeneration compounds ever studied in human trials. Here is the mechanism that matters. Dandelion root contains a unique class of bitter compounds called sesquiterpene lactones. These compounds do something extraordinary. They directly stimulate hepatocyte regeneration, which means they help grow new liver cells to replace damaged ones. After the age of 60, your liver's natural regenerative capacity declines by approximately 45%. Dandelion root has been shown in studies from the University of Maryland to partially reverse this decline, essentially giving your aging liver the biological tools to rebuild itself. But the benefit does not stop there. The bitterness of dandelion root is itself a signal. When that bitter taste touches your tongue, your nervous system sends an immediate message to your liver and gallbladder to prepare for detoxification. Bile production increases within minutes. This is why I always tell my patients, the more bitter your dandelion root tea tastes, the harder your liver is working. You can find dandelion root tea bags at virtually any health food store or purchase dried dandelion root from an herbalist and brew it yourself. Steep it for a full 10 minutes to release maximum bitterness. Combine it with all 4 previous ingredients in one morning glass and you have the complete Bitter Liver Tonic. Now let me tell you how to bring all 5 of these ingredients together into one simple morning ritual. Brew your dandelion root tea and let it cool slightly. Add 1 tablespoon of raw apple cider vinegar, 1 frozen lemon cube, 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric with a pinch of black pepper. Stir well and drink it on an empty stomach, first thing in the morning. Wait 45 minutes before eating breakfast. Give this 14 days of consistent use. In the first week, you may notice mild fatigue or digestive shifts. This is your liver actively detoxifying, and it is a positive sign. By the second week, most of my patients report noticeably reduced bloating, improved energy levels, and the beginning of real movement in their waist measurement. Scientific references for everything I have shared today are linked in the description below. I want to leave you with this. You have spent decades taking care of everyone else, your family, your work, your community. You deserve to feel strong, energetic, and free in this chapter of your life. Belly fat is not a life sentence. A sluggish liver is not permanent. It is never too late to give your body what it has been quietly asking for. At 60, at 70, at 82, I have watched patients transform their health with nothing more than consistent, intelligent choices made every single morning. Your independence, your vitality, your ability to live fully on your own terms, all of it is still within reach. Do not let anyone tell you otherwise. If this video helped you today, please subscribe to this channel and share it with someone you love who needs to hear this. And I want to know, have you ever tried any of these ingredients before? Leave your answer in the comments below. I will see you in the next video. Take care of yourself because you absolutely deserve it.